Okay. So, with the additive law, let me go over the main things I'm going to test you on, and this is the Math 103, the Math 120, and y'all, and the next 120 tomorrow. Heck, I don't believe I'm drawing. All right, general probability, odds, additive law, multiplicative law, and counting. That's what I will test you on.
The odds, the odds aren't the 0, 0, or the 0, right? Because is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, the roulette wheel. So you've got 5 things there. So you're talking about, if I give you 10 questions, you're talking about 2 questions from each. 20 questions would be 4. They're pretty much equally distributed. Okay? This is probably your easiest test. Okay, because it's pretty straightforward. You've got 3 sections that I'm basically testing you on. Okay? We're going to go over these again. Okay, because y'all going to send in questions probably Wednesday and Friday. Y'all with me? So don't spaz, okay, because I'm going to cover a lot of it today. We'll go over everything, and then y'all will send in questions Wednesday and Friday. And then probably test Monday, pre-test, meaning in the classroom. Everybody with me? Okay, so let's go ahead and go over. Now, I don't know what your outline says, but that's what I'm going to test you on. I think there's one section in this, did we do 4? Did we do 4.1 and 4.2?
You have a work email.
Yeah, that's going to be there. Correlation, causality, and slope. Okay, write that down too. You might have 1 or 2 questions from that. Okay, so let's go over what is the probability of a heart in a deck of cards. 13 out of 52. Reduce that down, please. 1 out of what? 4. So let's talk about the complement. What is the complement of hearts out of a deck of cards? What does an X through hearts mean? No hearts. So that's the complement of hearts. Okay? So what's the complement of 13 out of 52? What is the complement?
39.
39 out of 52. And I don't know if that's reducible. Well, 3/4. Because 3/4 and 1/4 is what? 1. Okay? So, that's how that we just did this. We just did general probability. That's it. Remember what I told you. You got to know how many is in the deck of cards. You got to know how many is what? On a die. You got to know how many is if 2 children, boy, 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 girl, girl, boy, girl, girl. You got to know if there's 3 children. Those are the 4 type questions I will ask. Okay? You brought up the roulette table. I will ask that question. But it'll be more of an odds question, which I'm going to go over odds right now. So let's say this is winning. Put a W right there. The question will say, just like the roulette question, it'll say, what are the odds against winning with a heart? Okay? So that's what the question will say. So you know that this is what? If that's winning, what is this? Losing. This is success, and this is what? Failure. So what is the probability? What is the odds against? Probability of what? Probability of failure over the probability of what? Success. Or, y'all didn't watch a bit of these videos, did you? Probability of winning or probability of losing over the probability of what? Probability of winning. So what's the probability of losing? 3 over 4. Remember, in the videos, I told you to use what? Fractions. Over what? What's the probability of winning?
1 over 4.
And what do you do when you multiply by a fraction, or when you divide by a fraction? You multiply by the what? And what happens to the 4s? So your odds against winning is 3 to 1. And you can write that 3 ways. You can write 3 over 1. You can write 3 to 1. I meant 3 colon 1, semicolon, or whatever that thing's called. Or you can write 3 to 1. Now, just like the roulette question, I will ask you, what happens if you bet $500 on a heart? Bet $500 on a heart. Then what do you win? Well, what's 3 times 5? You win $1,500. That's on the video of the roulette table, or the roulette wheel. Okay, so now I just covered odds. So let me draw a line right here. So that's probability, and this is odds. No yawning in class. Had training. The additive law. You draw a line right here. Additive law. There's 2 things you got to worry about with additive law. We'll write those in red. 1, always look for the word or. 2, always subtract the overlap. Most of the time when you do the additive law, most of the time you want to put it in a table form. And we'll put that in black. It's not important, but it helps you. Does that make sense? In other words, you don't have to have it in table form, but it kind of helps. The question, the problem I always use is blood types. We're going to do that one. So RH negative and RH positive. And what are they? There's O. I know there's AB, but what's after? A and B and then AB? And I'm just going to make up some numbers. 2, 4, 6, 1, 3, 7, 8, 2. So, now the reason I picked this table is because it's in the book we were using before, which was a very good book, but at Tri-County, if it ain't broke, you fix it anyway. Okay? So when we have a good book, we change it. All right? So anyway, this was a problem in that book, just like the LBJ versus Shaq question. So I use it over and over. And the reason I use this one is because it's like 8 questions in one. Okay, so I'm going to give you one of these questions right now. I'm going to say, what is the probability? And they'll give you a big old sentence, and they'll say, blah, 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 blah. Here is the table. What is the probability of A or B types? And there is your, take your highlighter out, and what is that word? So it tells you additive law. If you see the word or, that means you're going to use additive law. Simple as that. If you've got a table, in which I try to give you tables. I don't like to give you, now, I may give you a paragraph that's got 18 to 21 responded, 22 to 42 responded, these people said yes, these people say no, and you have to put it in a table. But that's not hard, okay? In fact, I think there's a homework question that has like H's on a survey, and they replied or not replied. Okay? So I take my handy dandy highlighters. This is where you need to use your highlighters. I'm going to use a aqua highlighter, and I'm going to highlight A. There it is. So if you got a highlighter, you need to be using them right now. Because the additive law, you need to use highlighters. So now I'm going to take, and you don't have to use them right now, but if you have them at home, you need them when you do the homework for additive law and you do it on the test. I'm going to take another highlighter. We'll use Verde. And I'm going to highlight B. Now, with any type of probability, you always got to have the denominator.
So
Always.
You don't include the A and B together? No.
I haven't done it yet.
We're talking about.
Hold on. Now, I got to find the denominator. What is your denominator no matter what? It's always the what? I heard you mumble. Total. So somebody add all those up. Oh, I got to say, I see a 10 right there. I see another 10. That's 20. I see another 10. That's 30. 33. There you go. It's amazing when people see those numbers. Always add 10s, people. Always. You got a 10 right here. You got a 10 right here. You got a 10 right there. If you're doing that, well, 3, 2 plus 4 is 6, and 6 plus 6, you missed the train and the bus and the boat. You always find 10s, always. Whether you're multiplying or adding or subtracting or dividing, you always find 10s. Why? Because everybody can add 10s. Unless you're one of those people that can't spell race car backwards or make change. I ain't even going there. But anyway, 33. Now, I'm going to go backwards a little bit now. Let me go, there we go. And I want to add up my blues. So I'm going to take my blue. I'm going to add up 4 plus 7. Well, let's make it another blue because that don't coordinate. Things I do for y'all. I need a poster. 4 plus 7, somebody's going to bitch and say, I can't see that. Okay, plus, and I'm going to use my green, and that's going to be plus 6 plus 8. And my red is going to be my overlap, and I always subtract my overlap. Do I have an overlap? No. No, so you put in 0. And that's plus right here. If you don't have an overlap, you put in 0. No, a lot of people say, well, Hubert, why are you putting that overlap there? Because the overlap is very important, and you need to put it in every single problem, whether it's a 0 or a number, so that way you don't what? You don't forget it. Okay? So, 4 plus 7 is what? 11. I appreciate y'all helping me out there. And 6 plus 8 is 14. And minus 0 and plus and over 33. And 11 plus 14 is what? 25 over 33. And I don't care about the decimal or the, y'all need to, that's good enough for me right now. Change it into a decimal or a simplified fraction, depending on what the directions say. There, we just did the additive law. Okay, now I'm going to give you another problem. And if you can do these two problems, you just did one, I'll give you the other one, you should be able to do the additive law. So now, I'm going to erase all this. And I want you to do how am I going to do this? Hold on. I haven't had training, so oh my gosh, look there. I just deleted the highlight. I ain't never done that before. There we go. So now I'm going to hit, I want to know the probability of B or RH positive. All right, you do that one. And I'm going to do all my coloring while y'all are working. I'll color this one green. And I'm going to color, no, I'm not going to color that one green. I want to color it blue. Because blue and green, blue and yellow make green, right?
Yes.
Thank you. So I'm going to blue and yellow. Oh my gosh, we got an overlap. Six plus 8. Three plus 7 plus 8 plus 2. I'm going to use green for my, I'm going to use that dark green, minus parentheses. And what's my overlap here? 8. I'm going to take my handy dandy green highlighter. And there is my overlap. And that's how you do the additive law. So let's do our adding. Hopefully y'all can do that. 6 plus 8 is 14. Yellow. 3 plus 7 is 10, and 8 plus 2 is 10. That's 20. And then green, minus 8. Well, 20 plus 14 is 34. So that's going to be equal to 34. That's not right. Oh, I didn't subtract. 34 minus 8. Dang old 26. Somebody help me out.
Yes, 26.
So that's going to be 26 over 33 and reduce and turn into a decimal depending on the directions. And that's how you do the additive law. So you either have an overlap or you don't have an overlap. If you have an overlap, you make sure you subtract it. A lot of people say, well, Hubert, why don't you just cancel? My job is to teach people that don't know how to do this stuff. My job is to not teach people that already know how to do it. Okay? So I'm teaching you to subtract the overlap. So that is the additive law. Now again, I'm going over everything because a lot of you should have watched these videos, and if you didn't, but I'm trying to go over it quickly so you'll, so I won't leave you out, even though you didn't do what you were supposed to do. But anyway, I should just, tell y'all to go jump in the lake. That's what I should do, but I'm not that type person. You're welcome. So you just told on yourself. You didn't do it. No, I didn't. I watched the videos. Yeah, yeah, sure. Hold on, I'm having to go slow because I'm not used to doing this because I haven't had any training. Okay, it's not. Okay, I'll just do it this way then. Multiplicative law. Multiplicative law has two things that you need to watch out for. We'll write those in red, just like we did in the additive law. Not the word or, but the word what? Oh my gosh, did y'all watch the videos?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. And with replacement. I'm beginning to faint. Or, oh my gosh. Now let's see if y'all really watched. With replacement, everybody knows what that's called? Starts with I. Independent. And dependent. Because without replacement, and I'm going to show you an example of the marble, not Marlboro, for some of you in the Marlboro Club, marbles. Okay? We're going to do I'm going to go to the next screen, and we're going to do the marble bag. Okay? So let's go do that. I'll draw a big old marble bag. And in that marble bag, we got 4 red marbles. We got 6 blue marbles. We've got 3 green marbles. And my favorite color is yellow, so we're going to do yellow. My second favorite color is brown, but I'm not going to do brown marbles. So we'll do 4 yellow marbles. Everybody with me? Now, I want to know the probability of picking, left side of these boards do not work very well. Probability of picking a blue marble and a blue marble. So I want to pick 2 marbles right behind each other that are what? Blue. And this is going to be with replacement. Or it may say independent. That's what the question is going to ask you. The question is going to say, what is the probability of blank and blank? And then it's going to say, with or without replacement, or it will say independent or dependent. Everybody with me? That's what the question is going to say. Okay, so I got blue. First of all, I need a total. Okay, so what's the total?
17.
Thank y'all. Got that 10 right there. See there? It makes it easier, don't it? 17. Now I'm going to take my blue marker. How many blue marbles do I have? 6. So that's going to be 6 out of 17. What happens if I pick that blue marble? Do I put it back in the bag?
No.
Yes or no?
Yes.
I put it back in the bag. Therefore, the denominator does not what? Change. So now, what's the second one? 6 out of 17. So in essence, when we're asking multiplicative law, and we've got 2 choices right here, then I can just raise 6 over 17 to the what power? To the second power. So then you highlight that second, and that means picks. So if I said, what is the probability of three blue marbles? Then it would be 6 over 17 to the what? Third power. If I want to pick 5 times, 5 blue marbles to the fifth power. Everybody with me? So the multiplicative law says that when I have picks, I raise it to the whatever pick power, long as it's what? Or independent. Now I'm going to show you the next one, and then I'm going to show you, does it make a difference? We're going to do that. All right, so somebody take 6 over 17, put it in parentheses, and raise it to the second power. It's going to be 36 over, let's see, 16 is 196. Let's say 15 is 225. I don't know 16. What is 16? What is 17 over, what is 17 times 17?
289.
Thank you. And somebody give me, I'm going to write the decimal, just give me 3 places. What is it? Point what?
125.
I'm sorry, what?
125.
125. All right, write that down. That's your answer. Or that's your answer, depending on what they ask for. They could ask. Make sure you simplify it if you need to. All right, write that down. That's the multiplicative law with replacement. Let me finish in the next 5 minutes. Okay? Now let's do the same thing without replacement. So I'm going to erase this. And now I want you to do without replacement. And without replacement is called what? Dependent. So that's going to be 6 over, what y'all say, 17? So I pick the first blue marble, and what I do with it, I put it in my pocket. So what does that change? Now, how many blues are in the bag?
5.
5. And what's the total of the bag? 16. Now you've got a different answer. Now you got to do that in your calculator. Somebody tell me what 16 times 17 is, please. I'm sorry, what? 272. And what does that answer come out to be? 3 decimals, please.
0.110.
I'm sorry?
0.110.
And is that the same as we got a while ago?
A work email.
No. Very small numbers, it makes a difference. Write that down. Very small numbers, it makes a difference if it's with or without replacement. But what if you have BA numbers? What do you mean, Hubert? This is your homework for tonight. Your homework for tonight, well, along with working on your other homework, I want you to do this first thing before you start on anything. I want you to change this to 400, 600, 300, and 400. And I want you to do both methods and change this. I want you to find the probability of finding 2 blue marbles. So now, instead of 6 over 17, it's going to be 600 over what? 1700 and 500 over 1600. Everybody with me? Mm-hmm. Now, what those 3 digits are going to do, you're going to raise to the 3rd digit right there. You're going to see that the methods do not matter after you've got 3 digits over 300. So write that down. Let's write that down. 3 digits over 300. I like to tell students over 300 because 299 and 199, they won't work as well. But when are all these over 300? Yes. So it's not going to matter. When you do your homework, when you do this tonight, and you do it by both ways, the first one will be 600 over 1700 raised to the what? Well, let's go ahead and do it right quick. Do that one. Somebody do that in your calculator, and then somebody else do this. And this will be 599 over 1699. I'm sorry, I said 1600 a while ago. All right, somebody give me this one to 3 digits. Just take 600 over 1700. You're going to get the same thing that you got a while ago. But anyway, what is it?
0.125.
What?
0.125.
I thought it was 0.125. Okay, now somebody do this one. 600 over 1700, put it in parentheses, times parentheses 599 over 1699, close parentheses. Tell me what you get. 3 digits. $600 over 1700, parentheses, times, parentheses, 599 over 1699. 0.124. It should be about the same. Is that what you got?
Yeah.
Okay. So technically, I think it should be 0.125, rounded up. But anyway, you see, there's no difference. So when you start having BA numbers, does it matter whether you do with or without replacement? No. And most people go with the exponents because it's what? It's quicker. Now we're going to continue with this with another question called the CD. I went over it in the video. CD questions. Anyway, half of y'all don't know what I'm talking about. But anyway, I did go over it in the videos. All right, let me call the roll. Oh, and let me go ahead and tell y'all this because you brought it up. I take the roll when I take it, and sometimes the computer will not let me take it, so I say bump it. It's not that important to me. So if you get an email saying that you're a loser and you're going to fail and because you didn't attend class, what should you do? Ignore it. What's the only thing I care about? You're doing 2 things, homework and what? You do the homework and test, you're good. Let me get the roll, please. Let's